life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change. Play the game that we say. I need a break. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. Face on when I chase like that. Yeah, I play so strong with a knife in the back. I'ma swing home run like a baseball bat. Gonna see me rise, you can hate on that. I don't play both sides, doing me no cap. I'ma ride or die for my dreams on tap. I'ma fly real high, you ain't see me slack. No, it's not how you fall, it's how you get right back up. That's how you get tough. Calluses on my hands so rough, yeah, I call your bluff. I'm not the one, mess with me, come out with none. Cause I'm so done, you had your fun. And now you're gonna face down the barrel of the gun. Cause I got a full clip with your name on it. But I'ma let you slide cause you ain't worth it. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change. Play the game that we say. I need a break. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. Face on when I chase like that. Yeah, I play so strong with a knife in the back. I'ma swing home run like a baseball bat. Gonna see me rise, you can hate on that. I don't play both sides, doing me no cap. I'ma ride or die for my dreams on tap. I'ma fly real high, you ain't see me slack. No, it's not how you fall, it's how you get right back up. That's how you get tough. Calluses on my hands so rough, yeah, I call your bluff. I'm not the one, mess with me, come down with none. Cause I'm so done, you had your fun. And now you're gonna face down the barrel of the gun. Cause I got a full clip with your name on it. But I'ma let you slide cause you ain't worth it. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. I wanna be someone.
What is going on? Welcome back. Oh, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy 8-Bit 79. We back at y'all with a brand new video. You see the title, you see the thumbnail. So let's do this.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get the binoculars out in time.
Look, well, let's not stand on ceremony, mate. Let's start the show.
All right. How y'all been? I ran across this interesting post that we'll talk more about in a little bit. But for now, let's go ahead and jump right on into the game, shall we? And that is over on the Facebook forum. It's over on the forum page for the game. Post under the general tab entitled Rating Phase 5. So we can give our thoughts on that. Of course, if you've been tuned into the channel for any length of time, then you kind of already know where I'm going with this. But if you haven't, or you're just interested, then you know. I do think that's part of the stagnation in the game, is not having those big MCU based updates that we used to have. But it's something that's easily rectified, I guess. It's just those movies created a lot of hype around anything to do with Marvel. So I can't even remember. Well, I can remember the last Marvel movie that I saw. It was Deadpool and Wolverine. Most of the other Disney Plus stuff, I've watched most of it. Well, I haven't watched most of it. I've watched some of most of it, if that makes sense. An episode here or there that I've caught. It does not seem very interesting. We did see Quantumania. I must say, highly disappointed. Oh wow, we started that early, didn't we? All right. Okay, that was pretty quick, which means I was probably in second or third. Not bad at all. Of course, zombie survival has also reset. So we actually need to go check and see which one of these tier 4 materials we need to avail ourselves of. I still think we need to do the carbo. Now, if you're not grinding Otherworld Battle as much, let me be the first to tell, but in lieu of, say, doing one of the other game modes, let me be one of the first to tell you that is a huge mistake. You still want to make sure that you're getting your 7,000 in, so you at least so you can come and farm yourselves at least 200 to 300 of the tier 4 mats out of this thing. If not, be able to, you know, clean out at least 3 of them, like cleaning out one completely and then buying another one, or maybe even buying all 3 of them once. However you want to break that down. And then the arena shop is also high pin. So we'll pick those up as well. So we do got a little bit of leeway there with no, if we can get the gears today, we will definitely be on our way with that guy. Let's go ahead and open a rift and get this thing out of the way early. Now I really need to switch Rogue back to my 5th team, but I'm just so loving Thor. I was talking to my guy earlier today, Marvelous Jackass, and I expounded to him like, bro, I really wish I had built Thor ages ago. Maybe not when he first got his tier 4, because it wasn't until he got it was a uniform or 2 before this one where he got a decent heal, where he became really good. There's one. Okay. So yeah, it wasn't until recently, well, not recently, but you know, a few uniforms ago, the little space suit that he had where he had the long hair, I forget the name of it, but that was the uniform that actually made Thor really good. And then, you know, his last uniform was kind of meh. The Thor Love and Thunder one, like, it was okay. This, however, just took him completely over the top. And it's just in terms of his damage, his amount of hits, you know, the whole 9 is just really strong. His survivability is better. His movement in the uniform is better. Even though it doesn't have a V-pad, it's enough movement in there where he changes positions with his 2nd and his 4th skill frequently enough to where he can cause the enemy to lose targeting. So really good stuff. Unless they have excellent targeting on their skills, they're gonna lose this guy. So that's just, I mean, look at that. The ground that he covers is just amazing. He threw the hammer that way and then popped up on the other side. That was nice. So yeah, I'm really appreciating just how good they made this guy. And I know I haven't really done a lot of showcase videos per se, but maybe that's something we start focusing more on. Because when I say this guy is every bit of worth it, oh God, I had no clue what I was missing. So, yeah, I think I'm kind of glad that if it wasn't for the new game mode coming, I never would have been thinking to move Thor. Therefore, Loki wouldn't have gotten selected, and Thor probably wouldn't have been on my list. But because of all that, I kind of feel like, because with me, I tend to want thematic when I tier for characters like Thor and Hulk, even though I know I took forever for Thor. Gambit and Wolverine, I tier for them not too well. It was far apart, but it was just because Wolverine had his tier 4 so much further in advance and was ripping the PvP meta. As soon as Gambit got his tier 4, I tier 4'd him. So, taking all of that into account, it is really, really see. Now, what I am kind of interested in is whether or not they are going to go ahead and make Medusa and Emma a mid-month. Maybe that's when Emma gets her X-Men 97. Now that they handled this update this way, I know I was thinking X-Men versus Inhumans, and that could still very well be the case. I still feel really strongly about that, but they may decide to do 2 separate updates with Medusa and with or it's more likely they'll be part of a smaller mid-month or something like that, where they just do those 2 as a one-off. Or prelude to the next coming update. Who knows? But we kind of know First Family is around the corner. We already got Riri out of the way. So the question is kind of who's next, right? They may not do the First Family update until August. Although they are right in line with being able to do this thing. Let me make sure that the damn sneak peek hasn't dropped. Like, they're at least another week away, I think, from doing anything. So that would line more up with the Fantastic Four movie. which just as a FYI, I wound up getting a 5-star thing artifact, which is pretty cool. It is a support artifact, I do believe, for the Fantastic Four that I did not have, so that's kind of great. I may wind up he's not gonna, unless he's just amazing, he's not gonna be the first member of the Fantastic Four that I cheer for. That honor is probably either gonna go to Sue or Johnny. But it is high time I got started on those guys. I do like the suits from the movie. I don't necessarily like the look of the people in the suits in the movie. The mustache, Pedro Pascal the Pedro Pascal stash. It really just has to, like, for Mr. Fantastic, he should have just grown the full beard, goatee thing, or shaved for the movie. So I don't understand that when you get into this world of, you're trying to bring a certain character with a certain look to life, that now these actors just don't care about that. And for most of the viewing audience that knows better, it pulls you right out of the movie. And so as a result, what happens is, like, a lot of the normie culture got into it because of the nerd geek culture surrounding things like sci-fi, comic books, things of this nature. Well, when they start asking questions and we're all like, oh no, this is bullshit because of XYZ reasons, I mean, that's really all it takes. Like, I could show my wife, my kid, anybody that hasn't really, seen a lot of this stuff. And, the mediums that are good, the ones that I like, they'll watch them and they'll go, oh yeah, this is some cool shit. And then when it comes to the TV version, when I show them that, well, why did they do that? I don't understand. It happened with me and my wife on the show that we both watch, that she's really into, Avatar: The Last Airbender. And then we watched that. Actually, I think she saw the movie back in the day, and then I showed her the show, and she was like, "Oh hell no, the movie is some bullshit." The M. Night Shyamalan, whatever that we shall not, M shall not be named, that movie. So, even the Netflix joint, while they did a much better job than the original Last Airbender movie, they didn't go far enough in so many respects, and they took way too many liberties. And they took liberties in ways that didn't make sense, right? with the avatar totems. Well, that basically means that all one must do is go around and destroy the fucking totems, and Aang can't talk to his past lives. Like, you gotta think ahead with this stuff. You know, that could be a help, but it's more than that. And the show's already given you the lore between the original and Korra with the Avatar 1 episode and the origin of it. Like, we got to pick the ball up better. And I tell you what though, the original show, I've been waiting for them to do a quality AAA platform game that's possibly multiplayer, co-op, and where you have to go through and save the world type of shit. Like, they could really, really dig in if they took that game seriously with the character building and the move set and they could really dig in. And if they did, it would like do a Ghost Recon version, but in that world with that texture, with that, you know, but moveset wise, so open world, yeah, but moveset wise, it could be somewhere along the lines of, it would have to be extensive per character, right? And so the first game, I would probably make the first original playable characters Team Avatar. I would make Zuko unlockable. Like, you'd probably have to either beat the game or get close to unlock Zuko as a playable character with his own specific moveset. And then later on, if you want to do DLC, you could give me the original Grand Lotuses, Order of the White Lotus, Iroh, Master Paku, Piandao, and Bumi. I think that would be fire, but it would have to be somewhere along the lines of, I'm trying to think of a good game that would allow for an extensive move set like that, but then bring that to a multiplayer arena, which I don't think any game has really done it like that before either. Outside of like a FPS. And just make that Joker like adventure, open world, hack and slash, but you gotta go all over the fucking place. I don't know, maybe they could use a Spider-Man sort of mechanic, maybe a Arkham sort of mechanic, maybe a move list along the lines of Ninja Gaiden. Like, on a per character basis, that would be a lot to do. Because what you don't want is too much repetition. You want to be able to get out there. then certain NPCs like chi blockers, I would make them, well, you really couldn't do chi blockers in the original, because the only chi blocker really was Ty Lee. Then they just went ham and made that shit a fucking thing. But there were other warriors that were around that were very capable even against benders. Like Ty Lee, like May, like May took out a whole group of firebenders. The Kyoshi warriors, specifically Suki. So there were a lot of yeah. I think the avenue for them to really get deep into that in a first game would be nice. They would probably immediately try to do a core upon the success of that instead of like a part 2, or instead of breaking it into a 3-book series, which is what I would do, and release 3 games off the first one. And then if you want to come with core after that, that's fine. I wouldn't do it in a way where I'm competing with myself though. And then I would make the DLC characters the OG Team Avatar, Zuko, the original Order of the White Lotus. So all the characters off the first playable game. So that'll be what, 9 characters right there. And to that, I would add the new Team Avatar. I would add maybe the kids. I don't know. Milo, Iki, and Janora. And I don't know who else. They could throw Avatar 1 on there. They could really get out there. But it's certain cats that you would have to have. You'd have to have the OG Team Avatar. You'd have to have Tenzin, Kaya, Boomy, maybe the new General Iroh, but he didn't show up that much, honestly. I think he showed up in like 3 episodes and was talked about in like another one or 2, something like that. I think one he was mentioned by name. No. One he was just mentioned as the general of the United Forces, and then the other one he was mentioned. He was actually shown. Then he got after. Then he had another episode. Then we never see him again. But I think it would be meat in a story there. Or they could take it back to, the 100-Year War. They could go back before the 100-Year War, actually. So that would be before Roku. But the problem is they think of it in a single player concept. They would think of that game in a multiplayer concept. Cause I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't even gotta play with Aang. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be cool to play with him. Yeah. He probably need the most extensive moveset out of everybody. But say, I could run with Toph, definitely. Hell, depending on what his moveset was like, I could run with Sokka. I'm down for some Boomerang. Could definitely run with my boy Zuko. Like, it's so many options to where it's like, hey, you probably ain't gonna be that mad. I'd say in a just from a game fun perspective, Sokka would probably be the least desirable, but it depends on like how they have him. Give me Black Sword Boomerang Sokka, we got ourselves something, baby. But they got to come off of the thinking about it like it's a kiddie sort of situation and make a serious game. Like, there was this one game called Mark of the Kree that kind of reminded me of a Disney, the old school, how they used to draw shit back in the fucking 80s, 90s sort of shit. With a lot of this shit, 70s even, specifically. But it kind of reminded me of that old school art style. But the gameplay for its time was pretty damn good. But like they'll try to do some sort of cheesy mechanic in lieu of just not like, you take a recent failure in the annals of Marvel, right? But in the annals of Marvel. Marvel Avengers, I thought was gonna be the game to shake this shit up. Had all the potential in the world. And they absolutely fumbled the bag every which kind of way. Over monetization for skins. Poor server management. To the point where people are getting booted, kicked, can't connect, can't finish matches, all this sort of stuff. Then they finally fixed it a little bit, and you know, took forever for updates with new characters, and then they only dropped one when they promised more than one, and then like just all sorts of stuff. Or maybe people thought, you know, that they were getting more than one. I don't know. My recollection was it was gonna be something else. I could be wrong, but still, you know, 6-8 months go by and you get one character, and then you gotta wait and wait and wait, and then you finally get somebody else. And it's sort of a rehashing of the same thing. Like, come on, dude. Like Black Panther, when they dropped him, he did not have a fast travel mechanic at all. Oh, he could run on walls. Only there are no walls in the game except for when you're in the city stages, and that's sparingly or indoors, and you may not be able to interact with the environment the way that you think because of the way that it's laid out and constructed. So doesn't make much sense. On top of that, you know, flyers like Thor and Iron Man wind up being some of the most effective in terms of travel and all that. So instead of them doing the logical thing and dropping another flyer, they give us some teleport mechanic with what's the name? And I guess that was supposed to be kind of a, well, everybody jump into the portal and I'll shoot the arrow way over and carry every, like, oh God, could y'all do something? And to top it all off, it wasn't like you could actually use that teleport mechanic in battle. It was only a means of traversal. It's just so disjointed. It felt separate and unsmooth in a lot of respects, trying to make stuff work. So and then of course you got everybody kind of loving Marvel Rivals, which I still haven't played. I will eventually get around to it, of course, but I got it downloaded on the PlayStation right now. I just haven't picked it up. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get Old Boy either, because I've been missing, again, you know, World Boss and Otherworld Battle. So let's get that out of the way. But yeah, I don't know. This is still the best Marvel game I think that's out right now anyway. I mean, just from a character selection standpoint, like, this is pretty tough to beat. Like, if they could do something where we could get this amount of characters on a AAA console sort of situation, you know, that would be dope. Not sure if they could do an open world format or anything like that, or even throwing you in a bunch of big ass maps and shit. Although after a while, like, that sort of mechanic gets redundant. The open world is really where it's at. Unless you're talking like some competitive FPS, or, you know, maybe some racing games where you're dealing with tracks and shit like that. But honestly, they don't even have to do that. They could come back and hit you in the head with something like that what that Marvel Heroes Omega was, or that Marvel Ultimate Alliance, that sort of line of games, because that's essentially what this is, but for mobile, with a little less functionality. Like, you know, you can't control the level of the character and this sort of thing for the flyers, like flying up and flying down. You know, if the character jumps in a skill, that's all automatic. So I think if they did something like that, that would be dope. And then they could always monetize the game by, you know, the whole outfit thing. Although, if I must say, I really don't like the power creep of it. But yeah, you give me a Marvel Heroes Omega with this amount of characters, bro, I'm done. I'm sold. Like, let me get that game right there. I need it in the roster. But I don't know. Like I said, I thought Avengers had the potential to be that game. And sadly, it was not. But we still got this Marvel First Family coming down the pipe, barreling down the pipe. So we may wound up Tier 4 and Sue and Johnny after we're done with Noel. And maybe we even do the thing if his uniform is good and he's more than just a support. If he's like a solid DPS, like if he gets the rogue sort of makeover, or anywhere close to that, if he gets a Cyclops sort of situation, I'm so sold on a thing Tier 4. One, because he's never been good. Two, because even after the DPS fades, the support value will still be there. For others like Johnny and Sue and and the rest. So that's a no-lose situation. Okay, we'll run one more and then we'll jump into some more other stuff. Yo, DJ, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, bro. How you been? Good to see you again. And I think, well, we don't got the card situation straightened out, but I know the direction that I'm going with it. We have made some meaningful gains on the PvP side of things. So I'm just waiting to be able to make some moves with cards. Over there, we're still working on getting pierced though. So we're still a ways out. Okay, let's go ahead and call that. Snatch up these battle pass rewards. Okay, we did spend that already. Okay. Yeah, we got a losing record, and that has not happened in a long time in timeline. Yeah, they just, for some reason, I get guard broken, they don't. This sentry is ridiculous, bro. Maybe I shouldn't have turned off the autoplay. Or maybe I'm on the cusp of challenger, which is why the business is picked up so. Okay. Ooh. Get my cheerful off. Okay. Now, that fifth skill off and then come back with the deuce. Okay, let's see if we can continue some winning ways here. Ooh. Got a long way to go, Sentry. Wow. I zero him at least? Yes, I did. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. These are them nail biters, baby. Ooh. That's not good. Get away from that. All right. Ooh. That sucker punch. Got comparable HP. Alright. Comeback victory. Hey, hey, hey. With a little bit of help. Oh, nice sidestep. Let's see if I can get this guy. Nice. Come on, can you get him? Why did that not do any damage? Wow. Okay, he's got the HP prop. That's a problem. It's keeping him in the game. Wow. Tried to jump into the 4 and then right back into the 2 and got smacked. And I wasn't able to get off that tier 4 skill with Spidey, which can help on occasion. All right. Got to switch in too. And without my artifact getting triggered, I do believe. Why y'all won't let me? I swear this dude just wigs out sometimes and they won't let him do a damn thing. And I'll just be sitting there tapping the button, tapping away. Tapping at the 5, tapping at the 4, the 2 in vain. helped. Ooh. Didn't have nothing to hide in. I should have switched. It's cool. No, I was able to pull it off easily. Thought I was gonna be able to sidestep my guy. I have to play this strategic in order to even have a chance, because I already got my proc triggered with or my undead triggered with no. Goodness. Dude just would not go away. Trigger this artifact though, so we are golden. At least we should be. There we go. All right. Ooh. That's okay. Triggered that joker. Wait a minute. Wow. Say, come on. Some justice. There we go. Nope, ain't gonna take a chance. All right. Cool. Got the ups on him. What in the world? What's going on with this guy? All right. So we managed to turn that timeline record around 17 and 13. So 56% and climbing. We rank 5,000, so there ain't no way we on our way to any kind of challenger. Hey, you notice how they put all the meaty game modes in the same spot? Alliance battle, team battle arena, other world battle, timeline battle. Those are pretty much all of the crystal game modes, save zombie. Those are the best places to farm tier 4 materials from the newer game mode shops, save zombie, and then of course your regular farming for world boss and GBR. But that's the meat and the potatoes right there, these two. You really don't even need to touch this one, honestly. I mean, outside of your clear ticket stuff. It's pretty interesting how they kind of set that up. Of course, that didn't always used to be the case. You used to have to go all over the damn place. But now, yeah, I don't think there's much excuse for being able to farm tier 4 materials at a decent relative clip. You just gotta stay down and grind every day. And as long as you're able to pick up at least a 300 piece out of each of the game modes, zombie, the game mode stores, from zombie, from all of the rest. And then do your GBRs and your world bosses like you've been doing. You should be able to farm tier 4s at a pretty decent clip. Like, if I wasn't locked up in Null, I probably would have had 2 more tier 4s already. Or at least 1 and well on my way to the next. If not done and on my way to the 3rd one, depending on how the RNG fell, as long as it was like an 800 CCF type. We ain't talking native tier 2 now. We ain't talking no Thanos or none of this here. But like, I could have reasonably tier forward the majority of the Fantastic Four save Reed, because he is native tier 2, I think. Go ahead and knock this out. All right. Let's get the damage accumulation going ahead of the tier 4. We'll pop off. Right. Okay, we got time for one more rotation. $11 and a half, we'll take it. And my favorite day of ABX, ABL, where I can get out there with my girl. Probably not my favorite season, but she does have fracture built in, so I don't have to worry about it. And he dipped right then and there. Luckily, her fracture doesn't take forever. Nice. I missed it, but we should still do pretty decent. Got him. All right. Move that needle then. I gotta pop off 'cause it's time running out. We pushing 8. We are pushing 8. Probably could have got it if my rotation was a little bit better. Definitely could have got it if my cards were better. Looking for ways to improve. And no, I'm probably not gonna give her a rage. Although I know it'll make her better there. Oh, yes, sir. Definitely need it. That's exactly why I came in here to try it. Just to see if I get lucky on a few of these gears. Okay, we'll try one more since we did get so incredibly lucky. Okay, we could use that 5.1 there. All right, we're gonna chill out before we burn through all our materials. Yeah, inching closer. Because once he is off the books, oh my goodness, the floodgates do open quite a bit, even for the native tier 2 variety. I know they're still costly, but I've been needing to do her. She's a lot closer than Doom. All right. So I got my next little crop of level 80s right here. Save. You know what? We'll just do it like this. If I can find their tag. There it is. And we wind up getting our hands on this thing. Okay, so it only applies to him. They need to change that to where it applies to everybody. And then we do have Franklin's artifact, even though it's only a 4-star variety, so it only gives the 2 seconds instead of the full 4. Okay, let's see who we can pick up. Okay, somebody that needs help. And somebody that may need help. I don't know. Or you may just not have sleeper. All right. Yeah, they both need help. Storm. I cast that third skill way out there for what? They're gonna handle that. Under 2 minute clear. Goodness. Goodness. Yeah, let's clean the rest of this up. It's just 2, maybe 3 runs. We can throw the Thor team out there. Yeah. Oh goodness. And Noel ain't playing, but he's also may get clapped. All right, there we go. Yep, that's a wrap. Oh, that was Scarlet wrecking like that. Okay. Okay. Yep, looks like it is going to get done in 2 runs. So still got the Ghost Rider team. That's actually not a bad team right here at all. One of the few really strong awakened characters that's tier 4 capable, with another one there in Beta Ray Bill. But he's probably just using his build as a lead at this point. Goodness. Whoa. What was that? Oh, that was some bullshit. That's what that was. Not even hitting the damn thing and slid out of there. And what hit me? Not that Riri has the DPS for this. I mean, she probably does in this uniform, maybe at tier 4. But there's Johnny coming through with the crit. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way so we can pick up our 2 million gold. That's enough for me to do all the rest of this stuff. Hey, some solidified tin. Nice. So still no Spidey. All right. Yeah, I really should have done that one first, but I wouldn't have been able to get it that far anyway. All right. Well, now that the mutants are out of the way, we can get back to working on cards. I mean, they're not all the way out of the way, of course. We're still working on possibly tier 4ing. Well, we don't necessarily need to tier 4 weapon hex. We're probably still gonna, just for the PvP implications. Although they haven't come down through there with the ban list on the zombies yet, but they have to get a little more creative. Like I said, the pure evil tag would be a nice one to ban. Of course, you don't always want to seem like you're floating in between banning null and sentry all the time, but like if they could figure out a way to hit Surfer and Wolverine, I think that would make players have to think. Because they can do Adam and Sentry easily enough, I think, with the energy projection tag. I think they both have it. Yep, he's got it. Wow, the list of favorites. We gotta trim the fat. Got a tier 3U eventually. May tier 3U. No need to really tier 3U. You're kind of done for now. Punisher, I'm still debating about. And then, of course, tier 4 Magic is also on the table. Where are we at pushing wise with Mephisto? Universal? Or no, alien types. He just waltzes through this. Wow. If it wasn't for that little old time freeze shit popping up right when it did. That shit popped up like directly under me, bro. Damn, can I be on the right tab? I want to do that because I can use her as a leadership if need be. Oh yeah, that should be it. Level 67. I understand this is Mephisto with a tier 4, but still. Hey, they finally changed that. Nice. I mean, really, they could just make it go across the back. Nice. it's a wrap. Yep, teleport right on behind you, buddy. So level 68. Who do I have that can take that on? He's damaged 2 universal, so that's no help really. He's got a conquest, so I mean, it does offer limited, very, very limited offensive capability. I mean, alternatively, we could also see if Loki could do this high. See Enchantress uniform effect. That's 80% damage to boss types. Yeah, I guess I should get the recovery rate. Okay. It wasn't that bad. He should have had the chops for this. Maybe not as quick as his brother. but definitely doable. Ooh, those dodges is what saved him. All right. Ooh. Yeah, that hop, you can't get clipped like that. Ay, 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 ay. Okay, let's try not to die. Ooh. All right, there we go. Ooh. Ooh, got greedy. That was my fault. I got greedy. Trying to get that thing. I should have just waited. Should have just played the time. It would have filled up. Got the pentagram, and then I could have got dead on his onion. I've got to get past this second phase. Cool, glad there's no lingering bleed effect via Thanos. Missing the heal when I missed the 3. Okay. Ooh. Made the best of a bad situation. Come on. We just gonna keep getting slid. Did I grow up on NES? Of course. Hey, free to play, what's going on? How you doing? Of course I grew up on NES. Contra. Well, I had a friend actually had a TurboGrafx 16. He's on the game. He goes by the moniker Marvelous Jackass. But yeah, he used to have a Sega, a TurboGrafx, and a Nintendo. I had a Nintendo, and then a Sega at one point, and then just about any other system you can think of after that. Or at least the big ones. Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, Xbox. Okay. Try to hurry up and get through this phase before all of the shenanigans start. Yeah, he always doubles the frick up. Oh man, I gotta get away from him. I gotta get away from this guy. Now he's just too easily. Before it was like, I'm accidentally doing it to myself, especially that first run. I was just too close to him. Oh wow, I missed that. Let's get off this first one. Just immediately into it, huh? Yeah. You are not gonna keep getting me with the bullshit. Trying to hang on to your little. Oh wow, did I jump back into that? Should have took the side angle. Okay, 2 minutes left. Not as dangerous as the other one. But yeah, I grew up cutting my teeth mostly on fighting games. So Street Fighter, a little bit of Mortal Kombat. I really stopped playing it after like the second or the third one. We about to get clapped. Oh, switch. Yeah. Any phase shifts. I'm just getting caught by all the bullshit today, ain't I? That was almost enough to clap him. There we go. Goodness, that was a lot. So stage 70. Oh, we need Sif. We already have her. Cool. So we'll be able to push this relatively easily. We may have to spend a little bit with the crystals for the 100 second. Let's go ahead and come down so we can knock this off. Definitely not gonna last very long. But appreciate the gift, my guy. Yeah, so, you know, Transformers, G.I. Joes, Thundercats, Bionic 6, Mask. Like, I grew up on all of that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, of course. Oh, you just gonna keep going. Goodness. Let's go and get this man out of here. Let him know we ain't come to play with him. Whoa. Surfer it is. Even though I think Surfer will probably be best used as a tier 4. Here, we ain't gonna worry about it. Well, I'm thinking I still need another one. Maybe because my big ass hands was blocking the strikers. Yep. Oh yeah, let's just put a whole lot of people out there then. Since Strife is doing his thing. All right. Let's walk him down. Already, let's just have a house party. Magic style. Let's get out of the way of your shenanigans. Throw another house party. Not worried about none of your little games or mini games or none of that. Here's just hot L. Yeah, that's the squad that haven't went yet. Like something's not right here, Chief. Oh, we don't gotta go nowhere. We ain't got out there with Gambit yet. Let's do the thing. Oh, so that's all he's bringing as a leadership. Huh. He's not element damage. think the ignore dodge is going to be enough, but it might be our best option outside of Magneto. Just because Shirag hits harder, so we'll be able to get him out of there faster. We'll do that. Oh, I screwed that up. All right. That was pretty quick. I just got to remember 3, 4, 5. Oh, Lord. Oh. Tried to get greedy, and he tried to double up. Little slick bastard. Oh, got smacked. Gambit with the... Oh, that screwed me up. I was gonna say with the fleet of feet. What in the world? Wow, that was weird. That was hella weird. It's supposed to be the one on top, but I guess. Okay, so we'll work on those gears some more. See if we get lucky. All right, that's it on the carbo. Got a few pickups to make. Let me see. Can I get a premium card? I think I can. I can almost get 2. So we'll wait. Last little. We only need another 20 tokens, so that's 2 more days. So we'll snatch up those 2 premium cards, and we'll probably do the premium card crafting event with that, because I definitely want to make sure. And actually, I'm not sure if I have enough premium cards to go around now. Yeah, because I have the zombies, the white fox, and that's about it. I went through my stores of cards, so we have to build those back up, definitely. But it is 2 a.m. here, and I am getting a little tired, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit the hay. Hey, welcome. What's going on, my guy? How you doing? Anime. I actually picked up some pretty good cards there. But we only have 4 million gold rocking as of right now, so we don't got a whole lot to sit around and pull with and do all this different sort of stuff right at the moment. I just wanted to touch base with you guys, let y'all know where I was at in the state of the game and all of that jazz. We're still working on getting the hood. So how about, since we got ourselves 15 dice, we'll see if we can get lucky here right before the end and unlock hood. I really would have liked the one right there to get that dice back. Then they could have rolled something. Okay. Oh, what is this? No, not the auto roll. How did that even happen? Okay, so we got a completion reward for the lap. Okay, a 6. That's really good. Can we roll another one? 5. Wow. Okay, can we roll a 1? He's taking all the good damn rolls. 2. Here we go. Getting fucking nickel and dime now. Wow. They really up in here playing tit for tat and pity pat. Okay, so it doesn't look like this is gonna happen. Yep, catch black cat. We actually caught her. So that's dope. Come on, roll a 2. Definitely roll a 2. I saw it and then it just went away. So sad. So sad. A 2 would have put me back in the game. As it stands, I'm about to get lapped. Okay, there's literally nothing I can roll that'll help this situation. I can roll a 3, get a free die, and I'll roll a 2, of course. And last one, if I rolled a 3, then I could have rolled maybe and got to the other building. And we roll a 2. So nickel and diamond, go on and get your roll out of the way. So yeah, good old boost points at least. And some tier 3 material. Not quite. We need 3 more laps in order to get that guy. So we're probably not gonna get him. We may have to force with the bios, with the biometric sub to get him or something like that. But anyway, we're gonna let it ride out here to some timeline survival. Y'all like, comment, share, sub. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. It's been a pleasure hanging out with y'all once again, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Try to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a buildup of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love